guys, welcome to the tutorial. This is going to get confusing really fast if you don't follow along correctly. I did a lot of stuff with this script, and it's going to probably take a little bit longer to implement or do this tutorial, but what we're going to be doing is making it so that when our minions spawn, they're going to walk here like they did before, but they're going to stop when they get to the tower, and they're going to check if the tower's there and all that stuff and how much health. And if it is, they're going to fire their spells at the tower and destroy it. So there's just going to be a lot of stuff in this tutorial, so hopefully everyone can follow along just great, and hopefully I can explain this the best I can. Alright, so the stuff you're going to have to create. One is a tower, okay? This is going to be a trigger, and we're going to toss our tower script onto here. Also, what you want to do is go and add a new tag for tower 1. And yeah, that's it. So we can go into our tower script real quick. So I'll just do this one step at a time. Tower health, how much health our tower has before it's destroyed, if it's destroyed or not, and we're making these static so we can transfer the variables back and forth. But yeah, just check if tower health is greater than 0 at least, and not less than. And yeah, destroy it if it gets below that. So that's pretty much that script. That's all you need for that tower. Set that up, and then you also want to create a tower 1 trigger, and you want to make a tag for tower 1 trigger. And in here, we're going to set this as well as a trigger, so both these are going to be triggers. And that's all you need for that. Okay, on to the actual Minion script. So what I did was I created the prefab for the minion like we did before, but I ended up creating a model and stuff for it, but you guys don't have to do that. What you want to do is attach a rigid body to this object. So you can just go click on the prefab and add component, physics, rigid body, and in here you want to uncheck use gravity, and you want to check all these boxes in here, and then it should be a box collider. Yep. And let's see here, and then for the AI minion script we can go check that out real quick, see what I did differently. So pretty much what I did a couple new things here. Fire spell, that's going to be our prefab, what we're going to be firing. Can move, if the minion can move or not. So if it's attacking a tower, we don't want it to move. In combat, so we're going to be testing later in another tutorial if the minion is in combat with another minion or a player, and attack at them instead. So we're going to go down here, and I added this line of code to our movement. So can move equals true, in combat false, tower script, tower destroyed, false. Just to make sure that the tower is not destroyed yet, keep moving. Now down here for the triggers, I made it so when the minions hit that trigger box, when they enter it, that it checks whether the tower is there. So if it's not destroyed, it's still there and we want to attack it. So we want to stop the minion's movement, and we want to instantiate the prefab for the spell fire. So this will put the prefab at the minion and fire it. And so yeah. And then for minion spell, you want to tag this as minion spell. So actually, I don't know if I even use that or not. We might actually not have to do that, but just in case, I guess do that. Okay, so spell transform, you want to drag your prefab onto this location once you create it. Set all that stuff for whatever you want, and you want to do the same thing with the rigid body and check all those. So that is for our minion spell. And then on our minion, you want to drag fire spell, you want to drag this prefab onto that location. So yeah. So in our minion spell, we're using pretty much the AI minions follow script, how it follows to the tower or the node. But for this spell is going to be following until it hits the tower. So fire at, that's what we're firing at. Spell transform, just yeah, transform of this spell that whatever object the script is attached to. And then yeah, fire at, we want to grab the tag for tower 1 and send this towards that. And I added this in here because there was an issue with if the tower got destroyed, the fire spell would just sit there in the air and you'd get errors that it can't find the tag. So when it enters the tower, we'll subtract the health from the other script, the tower script, and destroy this spell object. So that's pretty much all you need to do to set all this up. We'll go in here and look and see what it actually does. So they're going to walk until they get to that point and fire, and they're going to destroy the tower. See, it gets destroyed after 3 hits because that's 30 damage. And yeah, so it's pretty much what the script does for now. In future tutorials, we are going to make them continue on through the tower to the next tower after this tower is destroyed. Also, I still want to edit the movement a little bit so they're more spread out. And as you can see here, the model that I made is kind of flipped upside down, and I'm trying to fix it at the moment. But we'll do some other tutorials. I'll show off how to make your fire spell look really cool, and maybe when it hits the tower flashes or something, and it blows up when it gets destroyed or something cool like that. We can spawn another prefab for blowing up. So yeah, that's pretty much all we're going to cover in this tutorial. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm hopefully going to do my best to get the scripts put up there, and hopefully you guys could follow along fine and get this implemented.